Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's your fault that Star Wars is dead. It's your fault. Of course it is. That's what Access Media seems to think anyway. It's your fault that Lucasfilm has completely destroyed Star Wars. Somehow. Alright then. Shall we take a look at this? This is an article over on That Park Place. As you can see here, Access Media blames fans for ruining Star Wars. Not the people at Lucasfilm for pushing all of their nonsense agendas. Which they are pushing an agenda. We all know that. Anyway, dive on down to hell with me. Board my ride. Let's go. If you enjoyed this video, do hit subscribe. Please do turn those bell notifications on. But yeah, let's take a look. So this hilariously coming shortly after, or at least this video anyway, coming shortly after I've done my Acolyte review is, yeah, good timing. Because my god, that show sucks. That's not good. Not good at all. So we have this a lot from media. It says, to no one's surprise, members of the Access Media are blaming fans for ruining Star Wars rather than the Lucasfilm employees who are pushing all of their agendas, right? So the latest attack on fans comes from Livy Scott in an article at Inverse titled, quote, "The Acolyte isn't ruining Star Wars, you are." I didn't write it. I didn't write Star Wars. What? Where's my money? If I'm ruining it, where's my money? I want to get paid for ruining it, like Leslie Headland did. She got paid handsomely for ruining it. Goodness me. So yes, Star Wars The Acolyte is your fault. You're the reason it sucks, guys. Not Leslie Headland, okay? Definitely not Kathleen Kennedy either. Definitely not Bob Iger for somehow constantly allowing Kathleen Kennedy to go unchecked. Ah, dear oh dear. This is very predictable, but it's still comical whenever it does show up, as I'm sure you find just the same as I do. So it says here, in the article, Scott declares that the Acolyte is one of the best additions to that galaxy far away in a long time, embracing decades of nostalgia while also thinking critically on the franchise's legacy. Sorry, what? Let's just break this down. Apparently the Acolyte is, quote, one of the best additions to the galaxy far away in a long time. No, it's not. I didn't like Ahsoka. Ahsoka is better than the Acolyte. Okay? I didn't like the Book of Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett is better than the Acolyte. For the simple matter, those shows were written better in terms of how it's sort of telling a cohesive story. The acting was significantly better. Even Boba Fett, right? Boba Fett, even his acting and all in that show is significantly better than the Acolyte's acting. The only good thing about the Acolyte at the moment has been Master Soul, played by Lee Jung-jae. Now she then adds, also what, embracing decades of nostalgia? What nostalgia is it embracing? Whilst also thinking critically on the franchise's legacy? What legacy are you talking about? So she then adds, it also might be the most diverse Star Wars story yet. There you go. We've got it, guys. It's got lots of black people and gay and lesbians and whatever else in it. That's why it's the best, according to Inverse. Because it's very diverse. How could it fail? It's very diverse. Maybe stop putting a focus on that. Start putting a focus on good storytelling. How about that? Right. So, these people are idiots. While that's definitely a boon for marginalised fans, I distinctly remember, right? I distinctly remember Star Wars being pretty diverse. Lando Calrissian, the voice of Darth Vader, perhaps, a central character. Like, what? There was even a midget dwarf, whatever, right? An Ewok. What are you talking about? It's not politically correct. Someone will lambast me for that, but I stand by it. Shut up. It's made the Acolyte a target of a vocal splinter of the fandom. Shut the fuck up. From there, she makes it clear who she's disparaging in the article. Whether you know them as the Fandom Menace or a cluster of blue checkmark users on Twitter. Oh, that's funny. I thought blue checkmarks were all the rage on Twitter at one point. Fandom Menace, that's funny. I get lumped in with the Fandom Menace. I'm not actually part of that, by the way. It's impossible to escape their orbit. The same folks that review bombed diverse swings like Marvel's Eternals. That was an awful film. That was a yawn fest. I almost fell asleep. And the Lord of the Rings prequel, The Rings of Power, have now set their sights on the Acolyte. Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power was crap as well. It's like mainstream media just is suckling at the teat of garbage stories. Who taught these people what a good story is? Who? Who? Where's your qualifications? I want to see them, because I question it. As is expected from a member of the Access media, she labels individuals who do not like the woke agenda that has ruined these various franchises as bigots. She states, the Acolyte is not actually ruining Star Wars, but the bigoted backlash is definitely ruining the fun for everyone else. No, it's not. I'm okay just to sit here on my corner of the internet and make my review. Thank you very much. Like, you don't have a monopoly on reviews. They can't all be positive just because you want them to be. Suck a fat one. She continues, with the typical fare of ists and phobes. What? It's not outright shocking to see something like the Acolyte marred by racist, misogynistic, and even anti-LGBTQ backlash. Right. So, oh, we've got all the ists and phobes in there. I've not... Look, it's very fair and justified to actually sit there and say, where's all the white Jedi now? Because there was a bunch and now there's not. So that's a pretty justifiable thing to ask, right? It's pretty justifiable to be like, you know, you apparently made it, you claimed it was the gayest Star Wars ever. Where's the gayness? I've not seen it. Like, that was what I said in my review today. I'm like, how is this the gayest Star Wars ever? Like, unless you're using gay as like a term for being shit. Because then, yeah, it's the gayest Star Wars ever. But I've not seen anything. Like, what are you talking about? These people are such spazzes. God. The article gets outright laughable at one point when Scott writes, comments on set design and screenwriting have turned into misogynistic microaggressions against Headland. The set design's really good. The screenwriting sucks. The set design's good. Like, they've got really good sets. Genuinely, I think they've got pretty decent sets. Like, I think they've spent a lot of money on the sets and stuff like that. But the screenwriting's poo. It's like the worst. Microaggressions. Oh, boo-hoo. God, you mollycoddled spoon. Even critiques on the series have been weaponized by its haters. What the fuck? After making all these accusations, she then declares that true culprit behind this criticism of Star Wars is male entitlement. That's right, guys, just men. The origins of this toxicity, she says, quote, aren't difficult to figure out. At the end of the day, it boils down to entitlement. Many male fans feel like they own the franchise and are determined to safeguard it from anyone who would challenge that ownership. That makes it hard for disparate groups to coexist. It's even harder for non-white, non-male creatives hoping to tell stories within the franchise. Leslie Headland's white. Why did you say non-white? Why did you say that? I mean, she's not male. But she is white. Ah, you suck. You suck so hard. Super, super hard. Look, all this is just crap. I'm not going to get into all the other stuff in this article. This is bombed. It's absolutely bombed. But apparently it's your fault. You're just a bigot, guys. That's why it's bombed. You're a bigot. You're an ist. You're a phobe. You to blame. No. Incredibly bad screenwriting is. Incredibly bad acting. Right? Leslie Headland's wife stars in this. And she's about as animated as a plank of wood. And that's being quite generous. She's very poor in the acting department. Master Soul, played by Lee Jung-jae, give him kudos. That chap learned English for this role. And he puts more inflection in his line delivery than anyone else. Right? There's a bit more nuance to his performance. Everyone else just sucks. May and Osha, played by Amanda Stenberg, it's the same character. She's playing the characters the same. Right? It's bad. You can cope as hard as you like, but it's not good. It's not going to change it. It's bombing, and it's bombing for good reason. And also, regardless, right? Let's just remove all of that from the equation, okay? Even if there is a bit of gatekeeping going on, even if there is a bit of misogynoir and all this other crap, right? Even if there is any of that stuff, right? It's still a capitalist society. You still need to earn a profit and you still need to cater to the fans. So even if you remove the fact that this is garbage and people have justifiable sort of critique over it, you still have to please the fans. There's no getting around that. When you start to learn that, right, capitalism and, oh, I don't know, these weird social agendas don't tend to mix, everyone will be much happier. Anyway, leave your thoughts down below. If you enjoyed this video, worth $2, isn't it? Yes, maybe 5, maybe 10. Please do subscribe via Patreon. There's a link down below. The first one. Cheers. Bye now.